Greetings and welcome to the Irrational Inquirer. Yes, a lot of people consider me to be irrational. That's okay. Everybody is welcome to their opinion. I have opinions too, and that's what we're talking about here. So I'm at the grocery store the other day, and right there at when you get into line at the checkout counter, the Inquirer. We've all seen it. We've all laughed. Um, I just decided to go ahead and as embarrassing as it might be, I bought the National Enquirer. The headlines on this, I'm probably also going to buy the Globe. I think is the name of it. That's another one that, yeah, the headlines can be a little bit crazy. Probably crazier than the Irrational Inquirer. Oh, excuse me. You didn't hear that, did you? Yeah, sometimes, some of these people, and I think what it's going to boil down to here, this is a brand new channel. I'm just opening it up, going to see where it goes. I've got a couple other YouTube channels. The Rocking Horse Guy, which, I had a career for 25 years doing Renaissance fairs. I went back and forth across the country a little bit, but mostly in the Southwest. Well, the West. Okay, I traveled up Washington, Oregon, California. I mostly stayed in California. Um, I was the Renaissance Fair version of Carney. I took people for rides on giant rocking unicorns, like this. I didn't make any money. That's not what I built the rocking unicorns for. I built them to have fun with. There were a few weekends where I did make a little bit of money. Okay, made a few car payments off of them on occasion. Most of the time, no. The other channel, which is a lot newer, is called Quest for Tacos. FOR, not the number 4, Quest for Tacos. The original intent was to Burlington, Northern, and Santa Fe. It's about a half a mile from here. I still get to listen to them. I kind of like it. I like trains. Okay, trains are cool. Diesel, electric, yeah. Steam, oh man, I love steam trains. Anyway, um, the idea behind Quest for Tacos was to visit every taco truck in my hometown, not hometown where I was born at, but the town I live in, Bakersfield, California, otherwise known as Beggarsfield. People get mad at me when I call it Beggarsfield, but I've lived here for a number of years, and I've only seen a few bakers. You see where I'm going with that? Okay. You already know, so I'm not even going to say it. But anyway, you know what? I'm kind of curmudgeonly, you might say. I'm 68 years old as of this filming. And There are things that irritate me. I'll talk about those. Maybe they irritate you, maybe they don't. Doesn't matter. You know what irritates me? Is people that have YouTube channels and don't know what this little clip on here is for. You know what that little clip on there is for? Is so you don't have to take this little tiny microphone and hold it in your hand while you're talking. I have seen people that are doing things on their channel while they're shooting a video, and they have to do something that would normally take two hands, and they have to do it with one hand because they have to hold on to their microphone like this. I scream at the screen, you moron. It has a clip on it. You clip it to something. Thought I saw a stray cat. I throw things at stray cats. I love my cats. I don't love other people's cats that they don't take care of. They just feed them and let them breed. Those I don't like. Okay, on to the irrational inquirer. Okay, and get my hand out from in front of Mr. Trump's face there. I'm a Trump supporter. You may not be a Trump supporter, and that's fine. If your lack of support for Trump means you have to hate everybody who does support Trump, you have two choices. You can deal with it, or you can go away. I don't care. Leave a comment below. I'm open to discussion. A lot of people who don't like Trump are not open to discussion. They're just hateful people. Yeah, I'm a curmudgeon, but I don't hate people just because they don't agree with me. I hate people when they take their disagreement and get stupid about it. So anyway, the axis of evil declare war. No, they didn't. Nuclear doomsday is here. No, it's not. I bought this paper, probably 3 days ago. Nothing is blown up yet. But the doomsday is here. Okay? 5 U.S. cities targeted, and they're going to reveal those cities to us. Well, those would be big cities, right? That's where you eliminate the most people. If you want to cripple the U.S., you blow up farmland. Just my opinion. Then we got nothing to eat. You blow up the cities, we got nobody to feed. Yes, in cities, people who rely on other people for everything in their life tend to congregate in cities where they have the support systems. And, I'm talking about some people call them homeless. I call them vagrants. You go out in farmland, there's nothing to steal and nobody to sell it to for pennies on the dollar. They don't know how to steal a farm tractor, and they wouldn't know where to sell the farm tractor. There's nobody to beg from, there's nobody to steal from, so the vagrants, as I call them, stay in the cities. Not necessarily big cities. Bakersfield is, it's a mid-sized city. Uh, plenty of thieves. Plenty of thieves. But anyway, you blow up the big cities. those people rely on the people out in the boonies to feed them, provide them with materials and things like that. Okay, I've already revealed I'm not a fan of big cities. Okay, so secret bunker for cut. Remove that part. I stumbled. Secret bunker for Trump's war council exposed. If you've lived on this planet for any period of time, you know that there are places where the upper echelon of government are going to go if there is actually nuclear doomsday. If it was here, Donald Trump and a number of other people in government would already be there. But here's the irrational inquirer exposing that fact. Oh my God, there's a bunker. There's always been a bunker. All right. 12,200 enemy nukes could wipe out 2 billion lives. Is this news? Is this something that we didn't know? U.S. superweapon to destroy Russia in 60 minutes. I doubt it would take that long. If that were the intention. Back in Trump's first term, the doomsayers, the left, oh no, he's gonna make nuclear war. Plenty of other people more inclined toward nuclear war than Donald Trump. I think the man's smart enough to know that destroying the planet and then crawling out of your bunker and being the ruler of a destroyed planet, not a good idea. Okay? He likes civilization. I was more concerned about World War III breaking out during Biden's administration than I am during Trump's administration. Look at all the wars that were going on that Trump has negotiated an end to, helped negotiate. He's not entirely responsible for the wars that have ended. And those wars could just fire back up any time now. But he's done better than anybody in recent history. Prostitute scandal. Andrew caught fleeing England. So what? Who cares? In my opinion, and that's what this is all about, is my opinion. You have yours, and as I said, I'm open to discussion. In fact, I enjoy discussion. I don't have all the facts. I don't research. I'm not going to do hours of research to create this video, which I'm going to do like once a week or so. I see what I see. Sometimes I go diving deeper, but in my opinion, anybody that cares at all about the English or anybody else's royal family is a moron. Who cares? It's a royal family. They have a government. Their government is just as screwed up as their royal family is, possibly even more. Things in England have not been There he is again. Have not been going well recently. Again, my opinion. Um, Clooney backstabs Obama, plots White House run. Really? George Clooney. Go for it, dude. You're a moron. And let's see, what's the last one here on the front page? John Bonet exclusive. Really? We're still on the John Bonet. Killer escapes after cops DNA blunder. Really? I mean, John Bonet. Well, it is the Irrational Inquirer. I'm going to open this up to the inside cover. Tom Brady cloned late beloved dog. Paris Hilton and Barbra Streisand cloned their dogs. No, they didn't. And if that is available, if that is an option at this point, that's stupid. Let's say you could clone the dog and you come up with an actual clone precisely, physically, down to the last cell of that animal that you love. As it grows up, is it going to experience all the same things? Identical? Your environment determines who you are as much as, if not more than, your DNA makeup. You could clone me if this was available to do right now. You clone me, and 68 years from now, is it going to be the same person? No. No. It's not going to necessarily have broken its legs 5 times. 2 of them quite severely. So it walks funny. Walk around it. The way I've always put it, this started back when I was 16, was the second time I broke my right leg. And when I broke my right leg the second time, I lost 2 inches of the length of it. So when I stand up, if I balance my weight evenly on both feet, 16 years old, before I even knew anything about politics, I leaned to the right. Now, they didn't clone their dog. Okay. Kathy, is that you? Troubled funny girl Kathy Griffin is back in a big way and bearing all. Sorry, folks. We've seen the recent pictures. That's not recent. She doesn't look like that. Kathy Griffin. If Kathy Griffin were taking her clothes off these days, shows off new face and fantastic figure. For a lady of her advanced years, and no, she's not as old as me. So go ahead, make a comment. You're older than she is. What are you talking about advanced years? Hey, she's got a great body. It's in here that she's messed up. All right? And here, not a good looking woman anymore. As happens quite often with people as they get older. Yeah, go ahead, make a comment. You're no spring chicken. You're not beautiful. I know that. Tell me something I didn't know. Come on. Combs kids come in for his cash. Guy's a pervert. He did some things he shouldn't have done. Uh, should he be locked up for him? I think so. But it was just way too much in the news. News flashes. Demi Lovato. I'm not even reading the rest of that. Who cares? Nia Sue. Who? I'm not a celebrity follower. I don't know who they're talking about. Golden Bachelor Gary Turner had suicidal thoughts. Who? I don't know. I'm just not big on the celebrity world. I got to get a copy of the Globe. I think it would be a lot more fun. Katie roars back thanks to Justin. Katie, the astronaut. Yeah, she's an astronaut. Uh-huh. If your career is boosted by hanging out with Trudeau, your career was over with already. Let's see here. Tom Cruise. The Armas. After who? News flashes. Okay. The light's not so good out here. It's kind of an overcast day, and I'm doing this with natural light. The unlikely couple seemed inseparable at one point. First I've heard of it, because I don't pay attention. This is the first time I've opened up a National Enquirer in probably decades. Years for sure, but probably decades. Now You See Me star Jesse Eisenberg. Now You See Me? What? Jessica Simpson. Okay, I've heard the name. This is somebody I know about. Celebrated 8 years of sobriety in an Instagram post on November 1st, noting boozed silenced my intuition, blocked my dreams, and chased my circulating fears to complacency. Today I am clear. Today I am driven by faith. Wonderful. I'm honestly, deep down inside, I don't know her. I know of her. I'm happy for her. Alcoholism, drug addiction, all of that kind of stuff. Terrible things. Ruins people's lives. I don't understand why somebody would get involved in it. Glad to hear it. Security for newly named CBS News boss Barry Weiss. Bari. Okay, because it looks like a female. Now, I'm not a biologist. I can't say for sure, but it costs $10,000 a day. She's shuttled around in a caravan of SUVs, sources say. CBS News boss. I don't like CBS News. Even if I did, I never heard of her. I don't care. Clash of college scandal stars. What? There's. I have no idea who any of those people are. No idea. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm kind of divorced from. I'm not going to say reality because I don't consider that to be reality. I don't care, and I'm glad that it has no meaning to me. Jennifer Aniston. Oh, be still my heart. Physically a beautiful woman. In here, I don't know. New love, hypnotist Jim Curtis must be okay because he earned a stamp of approval from her ex-husband. Beautiful lady. This is like, it's like people who care about the British royal family. How can this possibly have any meaning to you? It doesn't do anything in your life to know about her personal life. Love and hip hop. Okay, I can guarantee you I'm not going to know who this is. Masika Kalisha, devastated to learn her 38-year-old husband was killed when his Tesla Cybertruck was slammed head-on by a driver going the wrong way. That's terrible. If you're in a place in your head induced by drugs, alcohol, stupidity, combination, whatever, where you're driving the wrong way on a freeway and you kill somebody, hang them up. Hang them high. Hang them publicly. Just my opinion. I don't know the person. Never heard of the person. It's sad that he died because somebody was driving the wrong way on the freeway. Actress Diane Ladd died at age 89. Star daughter Laura Dern was at the bedside. 89. She lived a good long life. I hope she enjoyed it. My condolences to her family. I know what it's like to lose somebody. Excuse me. Yeah, we're just going to go right on past that one. More people I've never heard of. De Niro drug suspects charged. Cops corral alleged suppliers of tragic grandson. Yes, the suppliers of drugs should be executed. You catch somebody supplying drugs, if they'll give you the person above them, life in prison. If not, Robert De Niro, you think I'm a curmudgeon. That guy's a complete ass. His kid got into drugs. Don't get into drugs. Let Darwin have them. New suspect eyed in Foxy Noxy murder case. Who? Here we go. Let's see what's on over here. Rinna, raring for kids' fame. Meddling mom Lisa Rinna is orchestrating a full-scale campaign to launch daughter Amelia Gray Hamlin into Kardashian-style superstardom. What have any of the Kardashians ever done to be a star? I don't know. Who cares? Let's see. Who's this guy? Uh, Hillary is huffy over Muniz. Big mouth Frankie Muniz torpedoed the possibility of a friendly reunion. Who cares? Excuse me. Rosie O'Donnell. Who cares? Hugh Dog Jackman laps up Kate's attention. Kate Hudson. Hugh Jackman. I'm glad I don't follow celebrities. Good morning, America. Who? This is. I gotta get a copy of the Globe. This is just too much celebrity garbage for me. I want some wild and crazy stories made up by people obviously on drugs or something like that. Andrew and Fergie blowing off Britain. Who cares? Talk about born with a silver spoon in your mouth and still manage to screw your life up beyond all belief and doing it publicly. Who cares? Harmon hankers for acting return. He's a good actor. What's it? Mark Harmon? Yeah. I'm not good with names. I don't remember names that well. Tom Selleck. Okay. There's a guy, an actor that I have some respect for. Not only is he a good actor, he is a decent person. Porky and unkempt. Excuse me while I go lose 50 pounds and kempt myself because I'm porky and unkempt. You live on a ranch in Ventura, California. Jilly Mack. Nice looking lady. He seemed healthier while running errands after hitting the gym on October 20th. Hitting the gym, you don't look better just a week or two later. But I'm glad to hear it about Tom Selleck. Mass dumping of ashes by a commercial funeral home is believed to be against the law. Well, littering, if nothing else. 300 human remains found in Nevada desert. You're getting paid to take care of things properly. Do it. If you're dumping piles of human remains all over the desert, there should be some jail time involved in that. Get that glare off of there. Cops blamed for botching John Bonet evidence. Lawyer calls handling of DNA incompetent. News flash. John Bonet. Very sad. A lovely young child. I don't know who killed her, neither does anybody else. Fast food fury. Yatique farmer. Yatique. Just throw a bunch of letters at the wall and see what sticks, right? An employee at a West Virginia Little Caesars was arrested after a shooting at the restaurant. I believe in the Constitution, including the Second Amendment. People who have not exhibited violent tendencies should be able to carry a weapon. Some people should not carry weapons. They're not mentally or emotionally stable enough. But you can't. Prior restraint is a thing. You can't just tell people you can't carry a weapon. You're an idiot. Who's to determine who's an idiot until you prove yourself? Excuse me. Until you prove yourself an idiot. Detroit cop Matthew Jackson appeared without Detroit cop Matthew Jackson appeared without trousers at a virtual proceeding. I might not be wearing any trousers myself right now. You don't know, do you? I know how to aim the camera. Creep sentence at last for old college assault. Nabbed after sending "so I raped you" message. The former Gettysburg College jock pleaded guilty to second-degree sexual assault earlier this year. Rapists are scum. Don't try to tell me that I support a rapist because I support Donald Trump. Show me your evidence. Excuse me. Subscribe, 61% off. No. I want to see the video. Probably out there. Monkeys on the run. Mississippi truck accident unleashes 21 primates. Had a girlfriend once for a couple of years that she said to me a number of times, "I want a monkey." No, you don't. I had a monkey when I was a kid. A local pet shop, they had the sign. I remember as a young child, the sign on the cage said miniature chimpanzee. My stepdad, Larry, a devout idiot, bought it. He bought the miniature chimpanzee, brought it home. The drugs wore off. Yes, the miniature chimpanzee was drugged. Turns out later that the three brothers who owned the pet store in West Covina ended up doing a little bit of jail time for some of their shady practices. They drugged the miniature chimpanzee, which turned out to actually be a rhesus monkey. You look it up, Rhesus. Rhesus monkeys don't make good pets. Uh, Miniature chimpanzees, if they existed, would probably not make a good pet either. The monkeys are not good pets. And my girlfriend for a few years thought I was going to get her one. No, I've lived with monkeys. I was good friends with the monkey as a child. Fact is, I was the only good friend the monkey had, because the monkey very much liked to climb up in the front yard tree with me and hang out. We would point at people as they went by and laugh at them. But everybody else, this monkey hated everybody else and wanted to hurt them. Not a good pet. Ended up having to get rid of him. I don't know how Larry got rid of him. I was just a kid. Celebrity squeeze. Hey, medieval castle. I didn't know there was a crossword puzzle in here. I like crossword puzzles. I'll do that later on. I don't see the questions. Oh, okay. It's not a crossword puzzle. Code breaker. I have no idea how that works. I probably won't try to solve that puzzle. Can you identify the celebrities after we've squeezed their face? I probably couldn't. I couldn't identify them if you had a regular picture of them. Hollywood hookups. No, we're just going to cruise right on by that. I've never heard any of them people. Croc Kid. Steve Irwin's kid. Okay. Yeah, Newsflash. Danced with Haley Bills. Never heard of her. In a TikTok video. I don't do TikTok. Clooney betrays Obama. Actor blasts buddy to boost his own White House plans. Oh dear. He backed Kamala Harris. The actor met with then Vice President Biden at the White House in 2009. That would be back when Biden could put a sentence together. I still had no respect for him. He was a leftist, but in 2009 he could put a sentence together. Let's see, that's a whole page ad. I'm not buying any diamonds. World on brink of nuclear war. I thought it was already here. That's what it said on the front page. Russia is believed to have warheads aimed at the largest U.S. cities. No kidding. Really? Really? I had no idea. President Donald Trump ordered nuclear tests. We have a nuclear arsenal and probably get tested on a regular basis. Billions of lives at risk. We've been at risk for decades. There's nothing new here. How to survive a nuclear strike. Keep an emergency bag consisting of bottled water, a first aid kit, canned food, a wind-up flashlight and radio, an axe, compass, local maps, blankets, flares, and a lighter. I gotta tell you a story about nuclear weapons. True story, something from my past. West Covina High School, 1970, probably 73, 74, somewhere around there. I graduated in 75. Back then, they had classes in high school like wood shop, metal shop. automotive. You actually learned how to take care of your car and do work on them and things like that. They had drafting. We had these big drafting tables with the big arm and you would, wait a minute. No, the arm was later when I had my own drafting table at home. We had T-square and triangles that we could, anyway, I took drafting, mechanical drawing, and architecture, all under the close supervision of a wonderful teacher by the name of Mr. Gardner. If you went to West Covina High School in the 70s and you were in any of these technically inclined classes, you know Mr. Gardner. I thought he was a great guy. I really liked Mr. Gardner. He probably considered me to be an irritant, at least to a certain extent. But anyway, back then we used to have nuclear drills. The siren, we had sirens at different places around town that would go off, and they said they were testing them. And they had to test them for a long time. If you were at home and you knew it was going to be going off, you would be outside to cover your dog's ears and comfort them because they were in a lot of pain. The sirens hurt dogs' ears bad. If you've got a dog, you know what I'm talking about. If you have a dog, you know what I'm talking about. The siren goes by, it hurts their ears. There's got to be some kind of better noise they can make that doesn't cause such pain for dogs. I love dogs. I have 2 cats, but that's because of my living situation. I love cats too, but I love dogs. But yeah, anyway, so the air raid siren goes off, and if you were in class at the time, you were supposed to, and all you people my age, you remember this. You crawl under your desk on your hands and knees, and you put your arm across your face like this to protect your face and mainly your eyes. And your other arm is supposed to go like this to protect the back of your head from a nuclear blast. Now, in the architecture class, we had these big, heavy desks. I mean, they were heavy duty, big, had drawers that locked all down the one side, and they were like 3 feet square table, and you had your drawing board on top of them. And I mean, the big, massive beasts of a desk. It wasn't a desk, it was a drafting table. And you sat at a stool, not a chair. So you were up high, you could draft. Well, anyway, this was back in the days before high school classes had air conditioning. It was a warm day. We had the back door of the classroom open. Let a little fresh air in, right? Because they didn't have AC because they figured, hey, school's out in the summertime, right? To Southern California, it gets hot times other than just the summertime. But anyway, we had the door open, the sirens go off, and Mr. Gardner, what a guy, taught me a lot of stuff. Cool guy. At my school, my high school, it was a football high school. So most of your teachers were either coaches or referees or somehow connected with football. Even if they weren't, which Mr. Gardner wasn't, there was kind of I don't know, maybe he was ex-Navy. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't football related, but he called everybody by their last name. I was Mr. Hartness. He was Mr. Gardner, or as I always say it, Mr. Gardner, sir. I had a lot of respect for him. But anyway, he's walking around the classroom as the siren's going off, and everybody jumps under their table. I am protected. Oh, you're looking at the top of my bald ass head, aren't you? Yeah. We're protecting ourselves from a nuclear blast. I sat at my stool and I looked out the back door. You could see the football field out there past the auto shop. And Mr. Gardner, sir, slowly strolled over to where I was and said, Mr. Hartness. Yes, sir. Why are you not participating in the drill? When he said that, a few of the people, it was all guys. I don't remember any girls in the class. In metal shop, maybe some in wood shop. They had a home economic back then, and guys didn't go to that either. There were no girls in the class. It was all guys. A few of them crawled out from underneath their desk to see what's up. Why is Mr. Hartness getting reamed out? Why are you not participating in the drill? And I said, I am, Mr. Gardner, sir. He said, no, you're supposed to be under your desk doing the tuck and cover. He said, what if, and he pointed out the door to the football field. He said, what if a nuclear bomb was exploding out there above the football field right now? And I said, Mr. Gardner, sir, with all due respect, yeah, I was kind of a smart ass in high school too. With all due respect, sir, I've never seen a nuclear weapon explode. I don't want to miss it. Everybody climbed up from under their desk and sat on their stool. And we all looked out the door, waiting for the nuclear weapon to explode. But none of us had ever seen one in person before. You don't want to miss it. So, unless a nuclear weapon explodes many, many, many hundreds of miles away from you, none of this how to survive a nuclear strike stuff is going to help. Okay? None of it's a bad idea. We have a Geiger counter. Gas mask? No, don't have one. Potassium iodide? No, don't have one. Solar panels? Yeah. Small generator? Got one of those. Yeah. If the thing is, they do have a crossword, an actual crossword. I'll have to do that later on. Cool truck. Too bad they had to paint football nonsense all over it. If I had one of those trucks, I'd have to sand it down and repaint it. 4,000 daily steps is a good goal. Yeah, not bad. Back pain isn't sufferers' only ailment. Really. Imagine that. I have a little bit of back pain, not as much as you would expect. Walking around all my life with a right leg 2 inches short, my back has some curves in it that aren't supposed to be there. But it works pretty well. I'm surprised at how well my back has dealt with cool knife. But when I buy knives, I buy them from knife makers directly. $99. Now, oh, the horoscope. Same kind of people believe in horoscopes that think the royalty matters. I can't get. Okay, some people do it that way. Can't get the pages apart. There we go. Oh, that's just answers to the puzzles. Controversial Cheney's damning hooker shame. Call girl ringleader Deborah Jane Palfrey was reported to have Dick Cheney in her phone records. So what? That's the least of my concerns when it comes to a politician. Said to be client of D.C. Madam before VP stint. The least of my concerns. How are they running the country? I've never had to do this licking my finger thing before. Ah, okay. Fashion. 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 Oh, jeez. Yeah, some of the dresses are actually nice looking. But high fashion these days? Give me a break. Don't know who she is. Zoe Kravitz, don't know who she is. Jennifer Hudson, I've heard of her. Olivia Rodrigo, never heard of her. Blake Lively, never heard of her. Kathy Griffin, we've already been over that. She's a nutcase. Emily Deschanel. Okay, I didn't recognize the name, but I did watch Bones. Every single episode my wife and I have seen. Because my wife's an RN. She likes medical shows. Kirk Widow kicks Kimmel's TV apology. Kimmel is an ass. Anybody that revels in the death of someone just because they disagree, politically or otherwise, is not a good person. Charlie Kirk and I disagreed on some things. I'm not a religious person. I don't believe you have to be a religious person to be conservative. I'm sure Charlie would agree with me. He would rather I was a religious person. Hey, believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. That's part of the First Amendment of the Constitution, which I very much believe in. People like Kimmel and others of his ilk, famous or otherwise, have every right to say that they're happy that a person was assassinated because they had different views. They have every right to say that. I have every right to say they're an ass. I don't have to pay attention to them. I don't think I would like to see Jimmy Kimmel removed from a TV show, not because people want him removed because he's an ass, but because enough people don't watch his show that the ratings dive. I believe that the network is keeping him on because they agree with him politically and they're making a statement. They're not keeping him on because he's making money, which I don't know. There's a lot to be said pro and con about that. But as much as I detest Barack Obama, Joe Biden, just two of the top names that come to mind, I would not be happy if they were assassinated. I would rather people just of their own free will disagreed with them. That's a whole different story. Death penalty, things like that. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking in there. More to come. I'm going to get the globe next time because I made fun of some of what's in here, but I think the globe is much more comical than the irrational inquirer. I wanted to, I picked up the wrong paper. I wanted to read about space monkeys and stuff like that. Not monkeys that got loose from a truck that crashed, but actual monkeys that came down from outer space, and we have evidence of it, and everybody knows about it. Breaking news. That's what I'm hoping for. I'll find some of that. I could go find some of it on the internet, but I'm not that good at editing. So it's going to work better for me to have a physical paper in my hand. But like I said, if you've made it this far, thanks. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you agree with me, comment. If you disagree with me, comment. Let's talk about it. As Charlie Kirk would say, let's talk about it. You try to change my mind. I'll try to change your mind. We probably won't change each other's minds, but we will see what other people are thinking. Discussion. Charlie Kirk got killed for it. He was a young man, the prime of his life, a wife and children that he left behind because somebody disagreed with his speech. That's wrong. That is absolutely wrong. I'll probably never be important enough for somebody to come and kill me for my speech. What I say doesn't matter because I don't matter. I don't have the platform that Charlie did. I never will have the platform that Charlie did. Maybe that's for the best. Anyway, brand new channel. Subscribe. Click like. Tell your friends, hey, there's this old 68-year-old curmudgeon out there acting like his opinions matter. No, they don't. Nobody cares what I think, and I understand that. That's cool. I don't care what you think either. Have a nice day, and have fun.